Internet addiction is up, and 3 types of internet users have been identified. Which one are you? I'm Dr. Trish Leigh. Let's figure it out together. Okay, in a study, it was identified that there was number 1, addictive internet users, number 2, problematic users, and number 3, normal, in quotes, or typical users. Which one are you? Well, they figured it out using a scale called the compulsive internet use scale. It's a 14 question scale, and there's 5 points, a 5-point Likert scale for each one of the questions that fell into 5 subcategories. I'm going to share them with you right now. Number 1, loss of control over your internet use. Number 2, preoccupation. Number 3, conflict. 4, withdrawal symptoms, and number 5, coping, right? Sound familiar? I've talked about these things before. So what we're talking about here is that people who had 28 points or higher were considered to be addictive internet users. And those are people that struggled with loss of control over their internet use, preoccupation, thinking about wanting to use the internet, conflict because people in their life say to them, you're using the internet too much. Or even if they don't know they're using the internet, they're like, you're MIA too much, or you're in isolation too much. So then there's also withdrawal symptoms when you're not in the screen, which is producing all this dopamine for you. What happens is you have a dopamine deficit in the world, and that results in withdrawal and more conflict. And lastly, we know that when people go into the internet over and over and more, they're using it as an unhealthy coping mechanism for feelings of stress or boredom, or their brain has just been habituated to get dopamine there instead of in their life. So 28 points or higher, addictive internet use. 21 points or higher was indicated as problematic internet use. So figure out for yourself. You don't have to use the compulsive internet use scale, but think about these categories on a 5-point scale. How much do you feel like you have loss of control going back into the screen? Number 1. Number 2, do you think about using the internet in the way that you use it often? Is it a preoccupation? Are you being drawn or pulled back into the screen? Think about that. Number 3, conflict. Is there conflict in your life because of your internet use? That can either be with your partner, with your family, with your friends, or just internally. You realize you shouldn't be using the internet as much as you are, or you wish you wanted to go out with your friends, but you don't. You just want to stay home and use the internet. Check in with yourself on that internal conflict. Number 4, withdrawal symptoms. You want to find out if you have them? Don't use the internet for a couple days. Stay out of the screen for 3 days. If your irritability goes up, if your anxiety goes up, if you do not feel well in the world, if you have difficulty assimilating, then you might be dealing with withdrawal symptoms. And lastly, think about how you cope with boredom and stress. Do you go into the screen? Do you have other healthy coping mechanisms? Because you might be using the screen in an unhealthy way to cope with the difficulty of the human condition or of life. Okay, stay with me, follow me through to the next video, because people who are addicted to the internet are 7.8 times higher to deal with issues in their physical health and in their mental health. And I'm going to share them with you in the next video. All right, if you're looking for help on the journey of coming out of the internet and getting on purpose in your life, please go over to drtrishleigh.com. My team and I, we would absolutely love to help you. And we have easy ways for you to train your brain at home. We have ways that we can see what your brain is doing so that we can help you improve your brain function, heal your brain, and get back on purpose in your life. We're here for you. All right, until next time, control your brain, or it'll control you.